30 minutes of power.
Welcome to Top 30 Minutes of Power, a podcast dedicated to encourage, educate, and inspire godly women to pursue their passions, with hosts Jory O'Neill and Nicole Salter. Thanks for coming. Let's get ready to power up.
Welcome, everybody, to the 30 Minutes of Power podcast, TOP. I will be your moderator this evening, Jory O'Neill. And tonight, we have the amazing and incredible Miss Nicole Salter leading our conversation. Super excited to share with you all this evening. But more importantly, I'm super excited to be edified and encouraged with the words that Nicole's about to say to us. So without further ado, I introduce to you the amazing and stupendous Miss Nicole Salter.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jory. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We know how important your time is. We thank you for taking this time out to be with us. And we are going to start a 4-part series on obstacles that are starting you from achieving your goals and how to overcome them. So last week when we spoke about, we literally ran through 20 different obstacles in 30 minutes. I didn't think it was possible, but we made it work. And we literally just touched the surface of all of these different things that stop you from achieving your goals. So in the next 4 weeks, what we plan to do is go over getting over that hump, getting over those obstacles and actually pushing forward so that you can achieve your goals. And so tonight I have 5 different obstacles that we are going to discuss. And I'm going to name them one by one. As I name them, please feel free to join in conversation with me and explain to me how this particular obstacle has stopped you from achieving your goals. And you can also go into how you're going to get over it. You can ask questions on what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation on how we're going to achieve the visions that God has given us. Okay. So obstacle number one, you like your excuses. You like your excuses. Now, for me, I have excuses for days. And so what I did was I wrote down 5 excuses for myself, and you can feel free to let me know which excuses we share and which excuses you'd like to add to the list. So for myself, excuse number 1 is, I got to take my mom to the doctor. Sorry, I can't do what I have to do because my mom has a doctor appointment and I have to drive her there. Excuse number 2 is I need a break. Do you know how hard I work? I am a mom of 2. I have to wake them up every morning. I have to get them dressed before school. I have to make sure they eat breakfast. I have to drive them to school and then drive back. At 10 a.m., I'm exhausted. I need a break. Why should I do this right now? I need to take a break, okay? Or I have to spend time with my children. Excuse number 3, they're only this small for X amount of years. So I have to give them the time that they deserve. And I have to love on them because eventually they're not going to want the love. And so this is the excuse that I tell myself when I don't feel like doing anything, right? Excuse number 4, I got to spend time with my husband. You know, if I don't spend time with him, who's going to spend time with him? I got to make sure I'm doing my part. I got to put in my time. I got to put in my work. Got to make sure he's happy because if he's not happy, the whole house is not happy. Very true statement. So we always want to make sure husbands are happy in our house. Okay. Number 5. I don't know if any of you know this, but I am a realtor, and every conference that I go to, they say, Nicole, you gotta make your videos. You gotta make your videos. You gotta be in front of people. The way you're in front of people is social media. That's where everybody is. You gotta make your videos. And so my excuse for that is, oh, I don't look good today. So we are not getting in front of a camera. My hair's not done. My lashes not done. My makeup's not done. Nothing is falling in line. I don't like my lipstick today. My earrings don't look nice. Tons of excuses for why I should not make a video today. Okay. Those are all of my excuses. Please feel free to join in. We are talking about the excuses that you make for yourself, which stops you from achieving your goal. Anybody?
I think one of the excuses that I used to tell myself was that I didn't have time.
Yep.
And I started reframing how I said that. And now every time I'm like, oh man, I don't have time to, I say, well, how important is it to me? Because if it's important, I will make time.
Very
So
true.
what do I need to cut out in order to get this thing done? So that's helped me a lot. And so sometimes, I stay up late or I multitask. There are some books that I am an avid reader, ebooker, podcaster. Like I love it. I love information. More importantly than the information, I love to actually put it into practice and see it work for me. Right. And so
Right.
that part, like, I'm like, oh, readers are leaders. Well, that's nice. I don't have time to read. I have 4 kids. I got a job. I got so much stuff to do, man. And I'm like, no, make the time. So now I get ebooks or during my lunch break, instead of scrolling on TikTok or Facebook, I pull out my book for 30 minutes and I do 30 minutes of reading. I read it before I start work, right? After I come home, as decompress. The kids are doing their homework. I take out my book and I tell them mommy's doing her homework too. And then I read with them, And so that's one of the excuses that I've used in the past, and it's one that I'm slowly getting away from. The excuse that I don't have time. No, I will make time for whatever this thing is. If I feel it important enough, I will make time.
The most important thing that you said in that whole thing, Jory, is how important is it to me? And that is what we need to constantly go back to in order for us to nix these excuses, right? Yes, my children do need time from me. We can spend time cooking dinner together. We can spend time reading a book together before we go to bed. You know what I mean? There are ways where I can spend time with them where they're not taking time away from the goals that I need to do for the day. Okay. I need a break because I work so hard. There are times where I need a break. Trust me. However, is it that often? Do I really work that hard? Again, how important is this task to me that I can afford to take that break? And so that's what we have to keep in the forefront of our minds. How important is that task compared to the excuses that we have? Linda, you wanted to say something?
Of one of my major excuses. One of my major excuses is over the last couple of years, I've had quite a few surgeries, and I use pain as an excuse. I'm hurting today. I'm not hurting that bad that I can't get up out that bed and go do something. But, you just brought that to the forefront of my mind. I use pain. I hurt today and oh my God, my legs are bothering me and I don't want to go down the stairs and come back up. So I just lay here and get on Facebook and watch TV. So thank you. That's one that's coming out of my repertoire right now.
Yes. Pain is something that we all can use as an excuse, right? I remember when COVID first came out, we had COVID. We had COVID Thanksgiving week, 2020. My whole house had it, except for the children and my 90-year-old grandma. I guess COVID was like, she too old. I won't touch her. But everyone else in the house had it. And people, when they found out that I had it, they were like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? And I was like, first of all, I didn't find out I had it until like day 7. Second of all, what can I do? Like, I can't leave my children to fend for themselves. They're only 6 and 8, So even though I was sick, I still had to get up and check on them. I still had to be a mom, right? I don't get to be sick and be in pain and say, oh, I can't be your mom today. Because although YouTube is a great babysitter, YouTube don't cook and clean and feed them. So I still had to do those things, right? So a lot of times we use those excuses until we have to negate them to do for someone else. And that's something that I deal with, right? Because me having to do videos as a realtor, I don't like to do them. But when Jory says, it's 7:30, we're on, I'm like, my hair's a mess, but I'm here. Right? Because I can't let Jory down. And so something that I have to work on is, if it's important for me to not let Jory down, how much more important is it for me to not let myself down? Right? I have to be there for myself and be there for everyone else. And that is something that I struggle with, because I like to do for others and not really care about myself. But I need to start working on me and working on doing things for me. So we can use that excuse a lot until we have to take care of someone else. Anyone else want to share? All right, let's go on to number 2. Procrastinate. I'm just going to raise my hand because I can procrastinate forever. Okay, I used to find myself, not too much now that I'm doing the work and I'm doing a lot of research and I'm studying. But I would find myself saying, "Oh, tomorrow's going to be a better day. Today I'm just not feeling it. It's just not happening. I can't pull myself together. I'm not going to do it today." And I am not a person that likes to be in front of the computer for hours at a time. And so I would say to myself, you know what? Tomorrow I'll make myself sit in front of the computer for 3 hours. And then tomorrow comes and I got to take my mama to a doctor's appointment. So I can't go. So I can't do it, right? Or I would say, ooh, you know what? I need to speak to this person and I need to find out this information. But you know what? They talk too much. If I talk to them, I'm going to be on the phone for 3 hours. I'm not going to call today. I'm going to call tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, guess what? I got to spend time with my children. I ain't got 3 hours to talk to them. So here we go, right? Back in the same cycle, procrastination, using excuses. Here we go again. How do you get out of that? How do you break that cycle? What does Nike say? Just do it. Nike says, just do it. This is how you break out of that cycle of procrastination. Put it on your checklist and make sure you get it done. Don't go to sleep until it's done. Don't go to sleep until it's complete. Put it on your checklist and check it off at the end of the day. This is how we get over that procrastination cycle, right? For those of you that are just joining, we are talking about obstacles that are stopping us from achieving our goals. The first one is you like your excuses. And the second one is procrastination. The third one, your environment sucks. Are you in a cluttered space? This is a big thing for myself and my husband. When it's laundry time, our house looks worse than a laundromat. And there are clothes everywhere. I can always tell what my son wore from when I ask him to go and take a shower. If I tell Christopher, go and take a shower, he'll run up the stairs and his pants will be by the door, his underwear will be next to something else, and then his t-shirt, and then his undershirt, and then his socks. He'll have a whole trail of clothes all the way to the shower. And I'm like, dude, your hamper is right in your room. Why can't you not put all of your clothes in the hamper? I don't understand. Your environment sucks. Some people, they don't have the money to pour into books or to pour into trainings. But why don't you have the money? Are your children wearing $70 sneakers? Now, listen, if you want to put your children in $70 sneakers, that's up to you. But then we go back to that question that Jory asked, right? How important are your goals to you? Are they so important that you have to push your goals aside so your child, who is growing every 30 seconds, can wear $70 sneakers? Only this year, and my son is 8, did I start buying him Nikes because I don't want him to get teased in school, right? However, when we buy Nikes, we go and look on the clearance rack and we find the Nikes that are going to fit him. We have a budget. What can we afford? $40 Nikes? Where's the coupon? Because somebody got Nikes for $40. $50 Nikes is that buy one, get one, buy one, get one half off. Because if it's buy one, get one half off, I got 2 kids. We can make that work. You know what I mean? What can you afford? What price can you give yourself and your child so that both of you are getting the best of both worlds, right? He can wear Nikes, he can wear Pumas, he can wear Adidas. They're all those sneakers, Pumas and Adidas, from what I see, are always on sale at the outlet. We get them for $39.99, $29.99. How many pairs you need? We can get 2 of them at $29.99. Okay? And that should last us until Christmas. And now the rest of my budget, I can use that for other things that I need to get myself to my goals, whether it be buying a book that I can get educated from, or paying for a service that I need for my real estate business to take off, or paying for a coaching session. Maybe I need someone or an accountability partner that is going to be able to check up on me every once in a while, tell me what I need to do, what I don't need to do, what I can take out, what I can put in. Where are your priorities in that moment? How can you finagle your environment so that you can start to do things for your business, for your goals, for you to be successful? One of the first things that my husband and I had done so that we can even begin to start saving money, because we live in Florida now, but when we lived in New York, there was like saving money was a dream. It wasn't something we were able to do. And so one of the very first things that we did was we cut cable and we got streaming TV. This is when YouTube TV was $30 a month. It was a no-brainer for us because we knew we wanted to save that money and we did not want TV to be more important than our goals. We cut the cable. So at that point, all we were paying for was internet and YouTube TV. Internet was $50. YouTube TV was $30, $70. We went from a $230 phone cable bill to $70 a month. Look at how much money we were able to save every month. Now you got your phone, you can watch YouTube TV on your phone, you can watch YouTube TV on your TV. Where can you cut so that your environment is helping you and not stopping you? What do you need to do to make a home office or to make a home corner so that you can have somewhere to work towards your goal? Okay? I see you, Jory.
Yeah, listen, I have a foldable wall because my previous situation is now, it's a little changed. My space before, you said something though, Nicole, I thought was pretty interesting. You said, how much is your goal or your dream worth, right? And you didn't use a specific word that I thought was going to come out your mouth. You didn't say sacrifice. Like, what do I have to sacrifice in order to make this goal or this dream a reality? I think if we look at it on both sides, right? How much will it cost, right? Time, money, resources. What if we look at it the other way? How much will it cost us to not do these things? Right? How much will it cost us if we don't get more disciplined with our finances, with our time, with our words, with our emotions? Right? How much will it cost us if we don't try to figure out a way to stop procrastinating? If we don't stop with the excuse making? How much will it cost us? Our happiness, our livelihood, right? Wasted talents and passions. What is it worth to you to push those things aside and to figure out how to get it done? Now, I'm not talking about pushing past any mental health issues, right? Because I feel like that has been preached way too often in our
Right.
culture, where you just, just stuff it, push it to the side and keep it moving. Like, no, let's not do that. That's not healthy. Let's not do that. Let's lean into the pain. Let's figure out, okay, well, how can I still get this done despite what's going on? Or do I need to take a pause on this for a second, take care of my mental state, right? How much will it cost for you to keep letting this behavior or this thought pattern continue?
Right.
Right. So I thought that was a good point that you brought up. You said, how
Right.
much will it cost you? Because I think
Right.
sometimes we always think of cost in terms of tangible stuff.
Yes. I think the reason I did not use the word sacrifice is because for me, it wasn't a sacrifice to keep or give up TV, right? Because that's the example I use, right? It wasn't a sacrifice to me to say, "Oh, let's cut the cable." I for me, it was like, this is not a sacrifice. I only watch 2 channels anyway. So I'm not really sacrificing anything. I'm not a big TV watcher. Like I was having this conversation with my husband the other day. He's like, "Why don't you choose the movie for us?" And I said, "I don't like choosing movies." "Why not?" "Because it takes me longer to choose a movie than to actually watch the movie." If you don't have a movie in mind, maybe we should not watch TV. Let's bring out a book. Let's bring out a magazine. Let's talk about, what are you tweeting about on Twitter? Let's talk about that. Because it takes too long, number one, and then it takes too much out of me. After I flip through 50 different movies, it's like, wait, I saw one that I really liked. Which one did I really like? And then I flip back and I find 5 that I really like. Which one of the 5 do I want to see? I got a headache. I need a drink. I can't do this no more. It's just too much. And so for me, it wasn't a sacrifice. It wasn't a sacrifice to keep it. And it really wasn't a sacrifice to give it up because I didn't use it that often to begin with. But sacrifice is a good word, right? For some people, that might be a sacrifice. So, what is your business worth sacrificing? Is it worth sacrificing that extra money that you're giving to the cable company? Or is it worth keeping cable and pushing your dreams aside? So at the end of the day, you have to figure out which one is going to be balanced for you, right? And which one is going to help you get to your ultimate goal and your ultimate vision and your ultimate dream. Number 4, fear is paralyzing you. This is something that affects me in a weird way. And so fear paralyzes me because I'm always afraid that I'm going to be too successful and not ready for it, which is silly, right? Because when I sit down in my quiet time and I'm like, "God, I just need someone that's going to buy $1 million house." And this person then comes in and tells me, "Hey, I want this $1 million house when we go see it." I'm like, "Oh Lord, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to show you this $1 million house." And God is like, hello, hi. Didn't you just ask me for this?" You know what I mean? Now, that hasn't happened to me. I would gladly show someone $1 million house. But a lot of us sometimes, when we let fear set in, it can be one of 2 things. It can be fear of failure. You talk yourself into thinking that this is not going to happen. And so you stop before you even purchase a $10 book that says real estate for dummies, right? Or you're afraid that you're going to be too successful too fast. And so you talk yourself out of it even after you buy real estate for dummies. You tell yourself, "Man, I got a lot of information from this book, but I'm not ready. I'm just not ready." And these are things that stop you from your goal. This is something that you've asked God about. This is something that you've prayed about. But yet, when God sends you the boat, you're like, "Oh man, I'm not ready. I can't do it." And then 10 years down the line, you're like, "God, how come you never sent me the boat?" And God is like, "I sent you the boat 3 times. You didn't get on." You didn't get on. You chose to stay away. You told me you weren't ready. So that's why I didn't send you the boat anymore. You got to let me know when you're ready. Does anyone else have any experiences where fear has paralyzed them?
I too struggle with the fear of being successful too fast. I'm interested in this concept of like being ready versus not being ready. Like how this it seems very subjective. Like how does one know when one is ready for success unless
You're successful.
right?
You know what?
How do you
It's the same thing with pregnancy, right? How do you know you're really ready for a child until you have one?
Nah, that's a nope. I can't go with that one. Nope, 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 nope. Listen, Linda. If you don't know how to wipe your own butt, how to cook your own food, or how to clean your own house, you don't need no second human in your face. That was different. If you walk around with a funky booty, an empty belly, in a dirty house, don't bring no baby. Don't bring no baby in that situation.
Some people know how to do all of that, right? Some people know how to do all of that. They're like, I can take care of me, but how am I supposed to take care of this? What am I like? You don't, as a baby, right? They don't tell you, hey, I'm hungry. They don't use those words. So now you have to learn a whole nother language. How do you know that you are fully prepared until you're in the situation? You have to make it work, because by the time you're in the situation, it's too late to think to yourself, oh, I'm not ready. Where's the return to sender button? It's too late. Ain't no return to sender button.
Listen, I realized I wasn't ready for one baby after I had my fourth.
You were definitely too late. You were definitely too late. But I also say that because of this. My neighbor a few days ago, her daughter was sick and she would get a fever out of nowhere. Nobody knew that she had teeth growing. Okay. She would get a fever out of nowhere. And it just so happened that one night she was fussy. And instead of leaving her in her crib, she had her in the room with her. And she's holding her on the bed. And all of a sudden, the baby's no longer fussy. And she's really hot. And she starts looking like her face just looked really weird. That was the only way her mom could describe it. And before you know it, the baby started turning blue and she's shaking. Little did they know she was having a seizure. She was having a seizure because her fever had spiked so high. Is this something that you prepare yourself for when you're thinking, hey, I think I'm ready to have a baby? You don't prepare yourself for these things. But with help from God, right? Because I'm pretty sure they were like, Lord, I need you to step in. I need you to take my hands and do what you can do for my 1-year-old, right? I think she's 18 months. For my 18-month-old, I really need you to help me out in this situation. You're not prepared for that until you are in it, unless you're the perfect parent, which I am not. So had that been me, I definitely wouldn't have been prepared. And I don't know what I would have done. Even listening to her story now, I still don't know what I would have done in the moment that it happens. Because I can say, oh, I'm going to do CPR and I'm going to call 911 and I'm going to do all of these things. But in the heat of the moment, I can freeze up because now I'm nervous and I don't know what the outcome is. You know what I mean? So in all situations, we can never for sure say we are ready until we are in it. You know, we can prepare all we want. And then when the situation happens, nothing we prepared for comes out. You know, and so that fear of being too successful is something that we kind of sort of need to negate. And if we become too successful, we say, God, show me somebody bring somebody into my life that's going to teach me how to get this to the next level or teach me how to manage what I have. Right? I did hear a quote. I think I was listening to a podcast where someone had said that the reason they became overly successful is because they made so many mistakes. The good thing is mistakes happen and we can bounce back from them. That's the good thing. You know what I mean? If you are afraid that you are going to be overly successful too fast, have people in your corner to help you bounce back from the mistakes that you make. Figure out what mistakes you made and how you are going to correct them. The earlier you figure them out, the better you will be at continuing to move forward in your goal. The last thing, you have no accountability. You have no one behind you to come to you and say, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Who is in your corner to help you succeed? Who is in your corner that actually wants you to succeed? Right? I have someone on my team. We call her Mama Bear. And whenever we get into contract, she writes down the name of the people we get into contract with and she writes down the dates. And every so often, she'll call and say, hey, did you get this paperwork? Did you get this paperwork? Did you speak to so-and-so about this? Did you speak to so-and-so about that? Do you have an accountability partner? For me, myself, it is easier for me to please other people than it is for me to please myself. And so if I have to do something for Jory, I'm going to make sure it gets done. If I have to do something for myself, I'm probably going to procrastinate. If I have something to do for any one of my friends, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make sure that I do what they want me to do because I don't want to disappoint them. How much more important is it for you to not want to disappoint somebody else than yourself? I should have that same feeling towards myself and my goals, right? I don't want to be stuck in the same place 5 years. I want to move forward. I want to keep going. I want to push past the obstacles that I have now. What am I going to do? I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to find people that are holding me accountable to it. Now, it's up to me to make sure it gets done or not, right? And if I don't want to disappoint myself, then I'm going to make sure that it gets done. But how important is it to you to make sure that you are moving forward in your goals? How important is it to you? 5 things we went over, 5 different obstacles. You like your excuses, you procrastinate, your environment sucks, fear is paralyzing you, and you have no accountability partner. Think about those 5 things. Which one of those, if not all of them, are keeping you from moving forward? What are you going to do about these things to help you move forward? How long is it going to take for you to realize that these things are really holding you back and you're never going to make it to where you want to go until you address it? And that is a big problem. A lot of times we are in denial and we think, oh, I don't procrastinate, but you know what? I'm going to look at my computer tomorrow. I'm going to check my email tomorrow. But procrastination, no, that's not me. I mean, I'm just not ready today. I'm just going to do it tomorrow. Boo, that's procrastination. Stop telling yourself that it's not when it is. That is exactly what it is. It is procrastination. So how important is your business to you? How important is your business to you for you to negate these 5 things that we spoke about? We have 15 more to go through. And if you were here last week, you remember I told you that this article that I read, it hurt because I have experienced all 20 different obstacles that has stopped me from being where I want to be. I have experienced all 20 in my life. The good thing is, I know I've experienced them and I am working on addressing them. Is that the same for you? Are you working on addressing all of these different obstacles? Or are you still saying to yourself, that's not me. Nope, I don't do that. I'm going to get to my goal eventually, but that's not me. I'm not there. Which one are you? Which one are you telling yourself that is not you? Which one are you coming to grips with? And which one are you going to change? Something for you guys to think about. My name is Nicole Salter. I thank you so much for joining today. I really hope that I was able to hurt you in a good way. I really hope I was able to get you to think about the different obstacles that stop you from achieving your goal. We will be here next week at 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., sorry. And we will be discussing 5 more obstacles that keep you from achieving your goal. Our purpose is to get you to realize that these are obstacles in your life so that you can address them, you can negate them, and you can start working on your God-given gifts and passion. You can always email us at as iron sharpens iron, AZ, the word iron sharpens iron at gmail.com with any questions, comments, concerns that you have. We love success stories. If our talks have ever made you really think about things and change the way you do things, please let us know. Until next week, this is Nicole Salta and Jory O'Neill. It's been real. Bye.
Thank you for listening. We pray you have been empowered by the message. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, join our free Facebook group, AZ Iron Sharpens Iron. Every Monday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, meet us back here for another session of empowerment. Share this episode with another woman who needs to be empowered. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, be an empowered woman using your power to empower others.
30 minutes of power.